In less than 24 hours, we expect to see fewer flights at some of the nation's busiest airports. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for First Coast News at 6. I'm Jeannie Blaylock.
And I'm Anthony Austin. So this drastic plan announced yesterday sent airlines scrambling to make significant reductions in flights in just 36 hours. And as passengers flooded airline customer service hotlines with concerns about air travel in the coming days, experts predict hundreds, if not thousands, of flights could be canceled. Our Fariha Abrar is joining us live from the Jacksonville airport tonight. And Fariha, I know you've been speaking with a travel expert on what people can do if they're worried about flying tomorrow and beyond.
Yeah, and their biggest tip is to brace for impact. That means have a backup plan ready. Even though Jacksonville International Airport is not on the list of airports that will be grounded starting tomorrow, it does connect to dozens of major airports across the country that you may have to fly to.
A lot of my friends travel. They've had flights canceled and slept in airports in the last couple of weeks.
Travel turbulence already hitting airports as passengers brace for a bumpy ride ahead of more delays and cancellations 37 days into the nation's longest government shutdown. Flyers returning home like the Briggs on their first out-of-state family vacation, now playing a waiting game as their flight back to Ohio is delayed.
So I've got a bunch of friends that are dealing with, furloughs and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of just a big pain.
The trickle-down effect from the government shutdown to ground stops now cutting flights at more than 40 major airports.
So we got a little notification that says if you don't want to take the flight now, we'll give you credit. So our backup plan is that we take credit for the flight and we get in the car and drive 16 hours home.
The day before the Federal Aviation Administration's flight restrictions take effect, travel expert Paul Hudson from the nonprofit Flyers suggests if your trip is under 500 miles, consider ground transportation.
A reservation on another airline that's refundable. So if the first flight is not going to fly or it's going to be disrupted, you can use the second flight. And assuming the first flight works, then you can cancel without penalty.
Hudson also suggests if you must fly, be an early bird. Morning flights are less likely to be canceled over evenings and avoid connections that could leave you stranded. Flyers Rights also reminds travelers compensations apply to you if you're bumped from an overbooked flight and if you've been on the tarmac for longer than 3 hours.
After 3 hours for domestic and 4 hours for international flights, you're required to be allowed out of the airplane. So you can make alternate transportation or cancel your trip.
Now, there's more information you can get from Flyers Rights. They have a hotline. It's 877-FLYER-6. They have free advice for delays, refunds, and lost luggage. The organization says that it's imperative that travelers stay as informed as possible during these fraught travel times. Live at Jacksonville International Airport, Fariha Abrar, First Coast News, on your side.